Hello there, welcome back to some more Final Fantasy 16. In the last episode what we did was we did some side quests and now we've got 7 more to do. We've got some fights, we've got rewards, we've got all sorts of shite to get on with. But I guess the first thing is to look at the hunts and stuff that I haven't done. Somehow I thought I'd done them all, but maybe not. Maybe I've unlocked some more now. Alright mate, let's have a look at Desert A. Hello!
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
If the drunken galley captain I shared a table with last night is to be believed, wherever your exploits made away across the seas to the great continent. What's more, she claims there are those who would see you flourish, herself being one such woman.
You earned this. Come
And
again.
2,850. And I've got the Genji's gloves. The Genji gloves increase damage dealt to enemies by 5%. The Island Warriors of the Far East are said to claim a piece of the armour of a slain soldier following a battle, wearing it over their own into the next encounter, which time they finally remove it. The Warriors believe that the spirit of the fallen foe now lend them their strength.
Oh yeah.
But only for one fight. Okay, we've got 2 more. The Grim Reaper and the Knight of the Splendent Heart. I guess this was after I fought Ultima. So, right. There's a saying among the Imperial soldiers of the Northwest Garrison, steer clear of the drowned tower, lest the spectre's sickle reap your root. They speak in typically uncouth terms of the thrall that dwells within the Aether Flood, one whose frightful aspect and command over lesser minions would appear to mark him as a high-ranking member of his species. In Sunbreak. And then, most pilgrims to the holy capital of Oriflamme pass through the Penitent's Gate on the road from the Royal Meadows. Of late, however, a knight in shining armour is elected to station himself beside this entrance, accusing any of all passers-by being Sid the Outlaw, the one who led Prince Dion down the path of destruction, and channeling them to a duel to the death. To the Penitent's Gate and Cape Orciere in Sunbreak. Alright, well, that'll be the first thing we do then. I'll just warp here so I can see where I'm going. Hello, lad. How you doing? The Prince of Death. Rank A. Let's fight.
Another one.
Not fucking about. I'm sure you're gonna kill me straight up if I let you. That. Yeah, there we go. Just to freeze him right at the very last second. Ow. Bastard. I'm just trying to practice my permafrost timing. Soul Harvest. No, thank you. He just hits a lot, that's his big thing. to die now. Goodbye. Get pierced into the sky. Eat. Level up. Level 48. Okay. The Dark Steel.
I'm getting tired of these things.
Don't say things like that, bro. We're fine. Right, then we just go to the Penitence Gate, which is right by the end of this bit. So I'll see you when I get there to fight a little Dragoon man. I'll probably get my shit rocked, probably, but that's fine. Yeah, it serves me right for never actually coming over here. There's another obelisk I could get. Alright, mate.
You deserve a rest.
Knight of the Splendent Heart.
You're the outlaw! The one who drove his highness to madness! On your knees!
He hasn't heard. He doesn't look like he's willing to listen.
Better learn quick, bitch.
Only your death will sell! For your
You hurt. You're a rude guy.
sound like pain! Pay with your life!
Okay. Let's try and dodge this shit now. Try and break him in one go. It might work.
It's over.
Live!
See ya. Like I said last episode or a few episodes ago, everything in the game now hurts a lot.
Damn it. Dion would have been glad to have you back at his side.
It all hurts. Doesn't help when you play like a twat and stop trying to dodge everything though. The classic Joey problem of you're dodging too early for all the moves is still
And
happening.
what can I do for you?
You're just not being very clever because you're getting hit by everything.
I do like a customer who knows what he wants.
I do. Kind of. Right, so that's those two things. So now that's done, we can go back to the hideaway and actually start doing these 7 quests we've got to do. Some of which might be longer than others, but we'll see. So let's start by doing Joshua's quest. Hello.
Clive.
Where there's a will.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's
Not nothing.
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How? Where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but would you join me?
Of course I'll join you.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Where there's a will. Let's head to Tabor then. Alright. Civil, I've helped you do all your things.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father.
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
My beloved sons, I never ask much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all of Azaria striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way, it should likely fall to you to continue my work, and that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. It shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both of you. Your father, Elwyn.
An inheritance?
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the Blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Hello.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else? Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Oh, mate.
Are you buying or selling?
I'd like to see what you've got. Oh, I can increase Gungnir's damage. Or will damage.
Come again.
I don't know why I'm so itchy. I've just got a very itchy face. Okay, let's go down here. I don't know if this is actually faster, but we're going to go down here anyway. It seems to suggest it will be faster.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
Let's go fight a big griffin.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
I'm sure it will make itself known. It can tell where we've been.
There it is. For House Rosfield.
Trying to do a boss fight. I just have to do a diamond dust instead. Break you. tried to dodge it, but I ended up running into the fucking thing. Oh well. I'm gonna have my cake and eat it too. Okay. There we go. Right. Enjoy this. Enjoy that. Not exactly what I want to do, but it's fine. It should do quite a bit of damage. Kingslayer.
Nice try. Nice try.
To the junior.
Nice try.
Enjoy your death. I can't die to that. While he's in that move, he can't die. I guess the game might break if it does. 2 Heartstones. Griffins suffer something akin to the crystal's curse. Their flesh slowly turning to stone over a lifetime of channeling ether. Unlike bearers, however, the effects of power gradual and limited to sack around their hearts. The slow progress of petrification resulting in the formation of a gemstone of rare beauty.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Ravaged. Eventually I need to go on a mini spending spree and buy all these equestrian rolls, but not right now.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen flame, it is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms, only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
You're welcome.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
So I'm guessing they aren't, like, equipable things. Maybe they are. No. The Founder's Grasp. Fashioned after those pictured adorning the wrist of the mythical founder in ancient engravings, Archduke Alwyn intended to give these bands to beloved sons upon their coming of age, that they might serve to remind them of the unbreakable bonds they share as proud signs of the ducal line, and the unwavering devotion that would be required to see their duty done. I'll take it. It's 3 less defense, but it's 18 more health. And it's Papa's! That's fine. Okay, let's visit the Archduke Alwyn's memorial, which is just on Hawk's Cry Cliff. Yes, this is the memorial down here. Why is it down there, though?
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. Mother was truly faithful. Perhaps these bands would have helped. Ladies with us. We know the difference.
And there would have been a world where if they'd become aware of her treachery sooner, they might have been able to stop it. Or at least just, like, exile her and prepare for an ambush. going to be able to fall down here, am I? No. You have to walk around like a normal person. Boring.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Thank you. The rusted battle helm. Archduke Oliver's helm worn during his victorious campaign to quell the Northern Uprising. War is coming, my boy. We must make ready. Joshua has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. So Joshua's just going to be with me now forever. This bit's still inaccessible, which is interesting. Also got a email. Thank you. Wonderful. At this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely in your kitchen. Yeah. May I see it? No. Okay, let's do another question. Hello, uncle. My uncle. Three's company.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
If that's what you want.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
Three's company. Or Clad.
Do you see
Yeah, we go down towards the Republican's gate.
too?
What is it? Please, just make it stop. I'm scared.
Don't worry about it, mate. It's fine. Probably.
Good girl.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's only like a big death spire in the sky, you know. Why doesn't Ultima just obliterate everyone and do a massive kill switch on everyone? I don't know, but it's fine. Or just set the whole world Akashic and then it won't be a problem.
That can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
Test your might. feel like your rebellion's gonna go.
A little longer than I'd have liked.
Really? How fast did you want me to kill them?
Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
Am I going to send Lord Uncle? Your bastard uncle.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Ah. Quentin, I see. I mean, Lord Uncle would also be a good choice, but he's a probably well-known nobleman, so They're like, fuck off, Bonsi noble. Not dealing with you. Whereas Quentin, a man of the people, he's got his whole squad with him. Gift of the Gab. And all this.
No use calling Ambrosia now.
Not really, I'm going to walk over there anyway, so probably right. Hello, Quentin.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Lord Bydon. Plan's going okay. Alright, mate.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quentin would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Congratulations, you unlocked another side quest to do. Oh no, you're going to do it now. Okay, good.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw.
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, my quill.
A little pomp and circumstance, you know. He is a nobleman, after all. Extremely rich.
Well, my boy, the stage is set.
that it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Quest complete. 11,000 XP. Okay, cool. The Triunity Accord, signed by representatives from Azaria, Dalmekir, and Sanbreque, this mutual accord sets the stage for a new age in Storm, if not officially, then at least in spirit. What great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? I'm making great guns. Getting all sorts of treasures. Let's go now to the next, which I guess will be on the reading table. I've got to read stuff anyway, so it's fine. 5% damage increase is actually quite a lot if it's just all damage is increased by 5%. I'm just thinking about the Genji gloves. Usually the Genji gloves break the damage limit, but that doesn't make much sense in this game because you don't get anywhere near the damage limit with a basic attack. I don't actually think there are damage limits in this game anyway. In search of a lost tome, reluctant as I am to add to your burdens, I was asking your aid in a personal matter, albeit one that may be beneficial to your cause. Though exist ancient texts deemed so injurious to modern thought that mere possession is deemed a crime, there is a chance encounter with one such tome from a distance that sparked within me the scholastic curiosity which burns to this very day. I wish to enlist your aid in reclaiming that text. Should you require further incentive, no doubt I am willing to offer compensation for services rendered. Alright.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
An inconvenient truth. We're going to learn about climate change. That's fine. Al Gore's going to come out on stage. We all watched Inconvenient Truth in the early 2000s in geography or wherever. But usually it was geography.
There's something about it.
And I think it is all interesting. Hi, Vivian.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
Book's important, yo. Alright, I'm on it. Hello, Harpocrates.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the Executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the Executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the Executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the Executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the Strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Right. Let's
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost.
Let me give you some.
I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see
for you.
them. I have quite the find for you today.
We'll read all about this stuff. Well, I will.
If you
on my
have
own.
a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
We're just missing Mysteries of the Realm now, but we've basically got a lot of everything else completely done. Yes, we're missing some unknown stuff we don't know about. Some that I might not even be able to get anymore. I don't know. There's some unknown things here. There's no way to know what it is you're missing either, so... But that's fine.
You are always welcome, Clive.
We will read about this at a later time. Vida Grace. Garnick is there, which I've been to before. I never actually managed to get anywhere with it, but I've been there.
Let's go. Faster.
Let's boogie. You guys can bugger off.
You deserve a rest. The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
Complete Botany of Banes. Okay, it says a book about flowers. Folklorist's Fabulary.
His interests were certainly varied.
From a Distance, Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bearers. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift came to be commonly known is most likely a contraction of bearer of the heavenly blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing were lauded as living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The divers nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structures of state, they were mistrusting of an organisation led by bearers for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting the adherents from their homes, and breaking up meeting by force. The church responded by forming a voluntary army to resist the persecution, and yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with a blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes to eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for nigh a generation, and decimated the population of men and bearers both, the deluge of blood. The stay in the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valesthean people. After the bearers' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valesthea came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Its well-known phrase, bearers other than human, has its roots of the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
I'm just reading, sorry. Now these guys are not going to like this. The secreters. The executors of secrets.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Let's see, shall we?
Only level 31. That was a very deliberate parry again. Sometimes I do it on purpose. Just slightly too early, or like too late on this, but that's fine. You still basically do the business. That was me trying to parry, but I fucked it up. Fine. I don't think you can parry, or maybe you can, but I just did it at the wrong time. See you later, bye-bye.
Impressive. But we have other means. we shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
I wonder what Clive wanted to speak to him about.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
No mention is made as to the name of the author. Whether it is because the title page has been lost to time or because the tome is published anonymously is impossible to say.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the Bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Thank you. Scholar's Bonnet. Vivian Ninetales a scholarly headwear awarded her upon the completion of her studies at the University of Canberra. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth, make them believe in you as I do. So we've still got, what, 5? Okay. Hello, lad.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Curse Breakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
So you happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
Alright.
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Trial and ever.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Those whites will think twice before attacking us again.
I'm nervous. Is it alright to be nervous?
I don't care either way, so long as you do as I tell you. Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine Cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impressed me.
I don't know about all that, but I'll go and see how he gets on. I can do that. I don't know that I would be very good at scouting. First of all, I'm too tall. They'd see me a fucking mile away. But secondly, I think determining how to get in somewhere I could do. determining how to get out again, probably, but distractions, not so good. And I don't...
These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready.
And I don't think things through enough.
Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run!
If you want him,
You'll have to go through me.
His limit is if he gets caught, he dies. That's not a great limit, I'm afraid. Well, I mean, that'd be the other thing for me too. I can't fight, so I guess if I learn how to use a sword, I'm not going to fight. But I know I'd just die the first time I actually fought someone. They parry me effortlessly, and I'd fucking get owned.
nice try.
Don't need that anyway. After this, I'll be fine. Charge long enough. That's stupid of me. Oh well. Get boned, dickhead.
You lose.
Also, can you turn into a dragon and shoot lasers, Ember? Because that does help with fighting, actually.
Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
Kestrel's beak braid. I think I could have got this a long time ago, but I don't know that this gate was open before now. I think I could have got it before. This is down thrust damage. Wow. The one move increased by 10% power.
The garrison said they take another 100.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you then, his heir. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
So, I guess he actually was shit scared. But
this won't be an easy decision.
In the end, he did do what he was told to do.
Should have seen him. The thing didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, neither did you, I hear. Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not.
I think he does.
Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things really do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, well, let's go see what this person over here has to say. Is that going to be up or down, do you reckon? I guess we'll find out. Is there another hunt again? What? Eh? Cursepeckers came across this creature while searching for survivors near the abandoned village of Garnick. Misled by the abomination's appearance and thinking she might be a local woman, they went to offer their help. As soon as they were seeking salvation, survivors say they can still hear the screams, both of the white of those of their fallen comrades. There's a... Okay, well, let me do this, and then I'll kill that guy, and then I'll keep going. Okay. This episode's going to be like 3 hours long. I don't mind, it's just one of those things. I've still got 5 quests. Does it just keep unlocking new quests? How have I got? I've got done so many. How are there still 6 to do? Ah! Okay. Okay. Right.
What do you think happened to Miss?
Oh yeah.
Sid, you have to help us.
All right.
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No. Well, yes, but that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Mididol. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stonear.
then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Mididol's inventions. Oh, don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together? She seems really sad.
No, let's have a look.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
Imagine if it was like, oh, dungeon. I'm not going in there. It's so spooky. And the kids are like, what?
Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordill. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the curse breakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Mididol mentioned a new project yet.
Okay, well, I'll have a look. Let's find out together. Let's investigate. All right, Ronan.
All right, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across the realm. Any ideas?
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better. You know what an adamantus is?
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Karava, near Old Bidza, or what's left of the village anyway. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay. Let's first go to Javoj and go kill a massive adamantoise. So although it might not be like an FF15 adamantoise, takes 3 in-game days to fucking kill. 8 real-world hours. Or whatever it was. I can't remember. I know I did it, but I can't remember how long it took. It was a long time. And then hopefully it's just like a fairly big turtle man we can kill. In FF13, death spamming adamantoise is the best way to get XP.
Here we are again. Karava. If you were a tortoise, Torgal, where would you hide?
And one of the only ways to realistically kill them without very specific builds to prevent them from killing you with their stomps. Hello, mate.
It looks like we found him. Nice try.
It's actually good when you bounce off because it means you just stop the thing early. I mean, you say this thing won't be easy to kill, but you did a pretty good job.
It's over.
Just saying. It is believed that Adamantos will grow a thin new layer to protect a shell once every 2 moons. Considering that many of the creatures live for hundreds of years, it should come as no surprise that the shells of older specimens can be several hands thick and weigh over 50 stone.
If Mid needs another, she can come and get it herself.
Using imperial measurements for the Brit bongs among you who know what that is. There's 2.2 pounds in a kilogram, and there's 14 pounds in a stone. Right? Is that right? Or is it 12? I don't think so. I think it's 14. Or maybe 16. Either way, if it's 14 pounds in a stone and it's 50 stone, then it's like 14 times 50, which is 700 pounds. Divided by 2.2 will give you how many kilograms it is. Roughly speaking.
Mid's well. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all.
Might have my numbers slightly wrong, but you know, if it is wrong, then you can look it up yourself. What would 50 stone be in kilograms? It's hundreds, put it that way. Yes, really is close by, this little circle of oil. Not a lot of places it could be. How am I not seeing it? Question. Usually you gotta come at the problem from a different direction if you're not seeing it still. Can Torgal help me out, I wonder? No. I mean, there's always over here as well, so it could be on this side. Yeah, it looks like it's over here. Okay. I was just on one edge of the circle. I thought the circle was a lot smaller.
I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
Right. Hello, Mid. Let's give you this shat.
Mid, tell me this is all you need.
A thick, noisome lubricant made from the rendered fat of sea beasts, commonly used by shipwrights and the cranes and winches they employ in shipbuilding.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1. And a 0.
And
And a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
wait. The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The young'uns? But why would the... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
Chillins. Could I have that cogwheel back? The one that we definitely didn't use because we didn't need it, right? Haha.
Sid! Is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales?
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember!
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's good to know.
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
If you're disassembling things and reassembling things, you shouldn't have bits left over.
Has Midadol
That's not good. You've got like 17 different contraptions that have pieces missing.
Well, did they have it?
An overlooked component of Mid's deconstructed scale. Its purpose remains a mystery to all but Mid.
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the right cog in the right place... Well, you just wait and see. That should do it. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes, children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
What would the oars be for?
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
If you could make an airship, that would be quite helpful. Mid's dangerous dream of flight immortalized in miniature. My dad always says there are two ways of living life: chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. Right, so I still have 5 quests to do, which is only 2 less than I thought I'd started the day with. I thought I only had 7, but maybe me doing these have unlocked more ones to then do 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 more ones to then, you know? So it's been about 2 hours. Loath as I am to admit it, it's like 10:30 at night already, and I have work in the morning, so I can't just stay up all night doing this. So what I'll do is I will probably make a cut in this video again and continue tomorrow and get it all done. I am going to get it all done in one video, I promise you that. But I will see you in about, what, a day? For you, will be about 5 seconds. See you then. Okay, I'm back. Right, looks like I'm wearing the same shirt, but I promise I'm not. Let's move on to the next bit of questing we've got to do. There's only 5 more to do. Aha. Hopefully it doesn't take 3 hours. We'll see. Alright. Gav.
You alright?
Silver linings?
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Etta's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Etta's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
I'll help you.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need, a feather.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with traveling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Silver linings. Speak with the merchants in Martha's Rest. If I don't say it with a rolled R, I'll say West, and that's not what I mean.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs.
Hello?
Excuse me. I'm looking for something.
Oh, well, then I'm your man.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though you're not the first to mention the bird around here. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, claiming he was attacked by a silver chocobo. Near some gutted hovel, not far from Eastpool. Most took him for a braggart and a liar, but who knows? Perhaps there was some truth to his tale.
We'll see. Thank you.
Right, any of the merchants about? It could be all over, so we'll just have a wander.
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
Alright.
Let's get this done.
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the Vicereine.
Maybe another time. I'm looking for a silver chocobo feather.
If that's the case, rumours are all you're likely to find. No one has seen a silver chocobo for years. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. Didn't bring them much, nor their bows. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not to be discovered.
You're probably right. Thank you anyway.
They're going to be trying hard not to get seen.
Look, Daddy. Shining so brightly. Isn't it pretty?
Whoever's idea it was to take those bearers away to Eastport has my thanks.
Oh, wait.
Can I help you with summit?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon's ride. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
Do you think Ambrosia cares that I kill other chocobos? Or she just like, nah, it's cool.
I can hardly make out a blooming thing. Oh, for a sunny day.
Excuse me. Now over there. I was going to say I can't go in the lake.
Tracks. I'm not left by bandits for a change. You deserve a rest.
I don't need to see this, buddy.
More tracks. And these look fresh. The chocobo was here. And recently. Perhaps it still is.
I just want a feather for me.
I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned.
Yes.
It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you. Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.
Why are we whispering? Right. Hello, Gav. I'll give this feather back to you.
It was no trouble at all.
Still, I appreciate it. Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Any luck, you say?
To the people of the north, still the chocobos are symbols of good fortune. The mere sight of one potentially meaning the difference between a failed harvest and a bumper crop, according to Gav at least.
Crystal's crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Oh, will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
Yeah, mate. Let's go say hello. My controller just stopped working for a second, it was weird. I don't know why. Hello.
Ah, me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is...
Go on, please. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did, aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean, a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
I don't know what to say. I thank you, milords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off? I'm thirsty.
I could be convinced. Don't you think you've had enough?
Oh, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over. What with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labor. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. Me whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword. I may have had one too many.
You may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway. After I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
That's alright, mate. The Winter Mead. A potent potable made from honey collected in the Northern Territory's short summers and fermented slowly over the next 6 moons, said to warm the belly on the North's cold winter nights. Said I was thirsty.
Do you think they'll come back?
Okay, right. Next. Reading more shite.
It's just a big crystal.
Right, a fine hound. The two of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there's still a lot for you to learn about that hound of yours. I'd step in front of a bloody range of behemoths and protecting you, but that don't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and somebody just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of kupo nuts. You do well to remember that. Karen. A new day. I'm not so foolish to believe that a single shaming at the hands of the town and urchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart. Just a pot cannot be made clean by reminding it of its grime. It takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff bush and a bucket of lye. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, courage and leadership has granted us just that. We must now decide whether to embrace it or to waste it. A wise man once said the night is always darkest before dawn. It's a good thing I can count one who burns so bright amongst my friends. Blue Ball. A note of thanks. My Lord Marcus, I write to thank you for the kind consideration you have shown for those whose name are written within the pages of the Book of Martyrs, and that it would move them deeply to know what the first shield of the Phoenix laments their passing. Though each and every member of our order stands ready to sacrifice their lives in service of the Phoenix, I do not doubt that those who are taken before their time go with regret for the long years of duty left undone. They should live on in the memory of a proud son of House Rossfield, such as yourself shall surely go some way to soothing their sorrows. May the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart, Sarah, Civil, bearer of the burning quill. That which conquers all. Here, not long removed from when you last placed yourself between us and peril, I sit and pen yet another letter in which I try to find the words to somehow express the gratitude of an entire town. Still, something feels different about our latest triumph, for in the past we leaned ever so heavily on your good graces. This time we find strength elsewhere in ourselves. Our hardship has shown us that which we should have been apparent all along, or that which should have been apparent all along. We're not as different as we want to believe. Does a peasant love his homeland any less than a noble? Does a bearer love his family any less than another man does his own? Is it this love that has united us and given us true strength, or is this love that has united us and given us true strength? Should every thrall, Akashic bandit and brigand of the realm come charging our gates, we will not fret, we will not falter, we will fight, and we will win. Isabel. Right. Concern for Jill. Though our icon brought her much suffering, loss of Shio weighs heavy on her heart, and we would be poor friends indeed if we did not seek to lighten their burden, even for only a fraction, before we depart for the skies. I would speak more on this in private. Joshua.
If Joshua was worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Priceless. Hello. I'm on the way. Alright.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
True. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
I'm not overly good at this whole fighting emotions thing. I can kill bandits with a big sword, but that's about it. Oh, now we can go this way. Yay! A bit of the map has opened up for me. Visit all areas on the world and local maps. Here be Voss Fields.
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone in the backyard? To the hideaway, then.
So I've seen every location on the map now. Alright. Let's go back. We can speak to someone in the gardens. Say hello. You know where we can find some snow daisies, please? The Rosarian
Let's hope
flower.
one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
It would be really cool if you could help me find one. Let's just have a look. What am I still missing for this?
What do I owe the honor? What's saying for
Oh, nothing now. We've got a Damarung. Good. Let's get that going straight away.
No scratches, right?
Craft the legendary sword, got a Damarung, half past twilight. Okay.
And
yeah.
Say what
Nice.
you will. Lady Karen
I'm assuming this is the ultimate weapon. I don't know. There might actually be one better that's hidden, but this weapon's pretty sweet. 375, 375. Hello.
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
Did you learn where we might find our flowers?
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrak.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilerfeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.
Right. Back to Northreach again. So this time we're going over here. Always over there.
And now my
That's fine. I don't mind. Just saying. No point going that way. There's nothing out that way. Only beyond this way.
haven't seen any of those beastly blue-eyed... Do be careful.
I will.
Hello, Ambrosia. Let's go. Let's get on this little ship. Let's get some snow daisies, shall we?
The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
Look, brother. The flowers and our friends.
Ow, stop hitting me.
What do you see, boy? Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
Hit me. Die, heathen. Bye-bye. I should stay away from the flowers.
That was harder than I expected. But Founder, it was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Jill, could I have a word with you, please?
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
You didn't let us say yes or no. You just started walking off.
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you, Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped, so lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? We'd all be...
Lost focus for some reason, I don't know why, sorry.
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then... that's what you'll have.
stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
You'll stab her with your armor, you prick. It's all spiky and black. And metal. And it's not good.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
Quest complete. Snow Daisy Garland, a fragrant diadem hidden woven by Jill from flowers picked on the shores of Ulafeist Bay. I never was much at garlands, but I'll have to do. Song of Winter, Autumn Gone from Frosted Lips, Oblivion. Northern Nursery Rhyme. Reduces diamond disc cooldown time by 7.5 seconds. That makes it really actually quite fast. Now is Jill going to be with me the whole time too? Like Joshua? Yeah. Jill has joined Clive's party and remained with him until departing for Origin. Echoes of the Fallen questline. New questline, Echoes of the Fallen, is now available by speaking with Khan and still in the Hideaway. The Rising Tide questline. New questline, The Rising Tide, is now available by inspecting the reading table at Clive's Hideaway Chambers. So I had to do this to get Jill and Joshua with me, and now I can do the DLCs. Which I will do, but not right now, obviously. There are 3 quests left to do, and I will endeavour to do those 3 right now! A tale to tell, litany of errors and nobody's tooled. I think it must be in the treasure box, in the readings. I know the missives are where I can do the side quests as well, but I think the other side quest is in the missives. It's just not showing me it. Right. Hello? Right. Yes. The Wages of Fate. Do you remember what you told me that night at Phoenix Gate? That while the fate of Zarya sits on my shoulders, the fate of its dominance sits upon yours? That we are not both dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both our hearts? Should I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield, and let me choose to be yours. Is this not what our father wanted, what Sid wanted? Cast aside fate and forge your own paths? Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. The tri-unity. Being together 3 men from differing backgrounds is not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did, for a better Valasthea. The tri-unity was but a first step. A longer, more bitter journey awaits us all. One that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from each other while on the road there. You've paved the road for us with your courage, Clive. Now you must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle, Byron. Making amends. Master Clive, I'm aware that there are matters of much greater import which demand your attention, but should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shells and I must ask a single favour concerning His Highness Prince Dion.
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about.
We'll have a look. A tale to tell. Now, of course, I'll be doing the DLCs before I beat the game, because you're supposed to, I think. I think you can maybe, well, based on the names of them, you might be able to get Leviathan as an icon. Because Leviathan's like the lost icon. Hello.
Lawsman Harpocrates. I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Sid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting, not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him, and I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the color. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
I will. Right. Be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay, right, let's carry on. So, I need to go to Rickmal's Roost. Over here. In Isla. Well, at least nearby. Yeah, it's actually further back in towards the Angry Gap, but there's nothing closer there anyway, so this is just the way we have to go, I'm afraid. Right.
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Seems this place has been flooded twice over.
Yes.
Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
No mistakes.
He's fast. Fortunately, I'm faster.
Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
Okay, let's go.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
Records suggest that the woven tail was first cultivated with the purpose of distilling purple dye from its petals. However, when the tended blooms were discovered to lose their hue over time, the gardeners of early Valestia made the fateful decision to investigate the practical properties of their roots instead.
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
Prince Dion, my boy. Come hither.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
No. It is time, then.
No. Only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates? No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself and to him how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tails. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you.
Yes.
That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
I'll put it through all my other shit. I mean, my trinkets and boons from my travels. Haha. Solus Krill and Bahamut's Mercy. A gift from the very first Emperor Sunback to his infant son. This ring has graced the hand of every dominant of Bahamut since. The Aether absorbed from the Econ over the years, aiding the next Imperial sign and drawing out the full potential of their bloodline. Now the Empire lies in ruins and that bloodline is broken, so let it be with Bahamut, as was always intended. And Lordsman Harpocrates' best loved writing implement, whose nib ascribed many a learned tome. It is said that when Ezra's feather is steeped in the wishes of his over a long lifetime, all those words are just waiting to pour out onto the page. Okay, right. So we've got to go speak to our lady captain. Find out what she's doing, probably to do with the slave trade again. People smuggling. Hello, Doris.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
Yes, let's go.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Nobody's tool. Ravenwood Walls. Is this the bit to the left? Yes. Good.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashyyyk. I need to hurry.
I'm on the way. See ya. I've been waiting for a long time to get over here. Okay, how'd you get past the bombs? So let's just run by them and they ignored you.
There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thickest there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls?
Bad enough to turn a bearer.
Locked up tight.
Go this way then.
We're not alone.
Balmung Dark, writ of designation. The Kingdom of Elude hereby designates this facility a prison for the detainment of parents, both foreign and domestic. The purpose of this facility is to rear and train Akuza beasts for development of the field. The aforementioned purpose is a matter of strictest secrecy, and no mention thereof is punishable by death. Captive bearers have been provided solely for the pursuit of the aforementioned purpose. Express permission is required for use of any bearers in any other capacity.
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
Well, we can go up to chase Doris, but... I'm going this way just to see if she's alright, mainly.
No sign of any bearers yet. I hope you have better luck downstairs.
Company.
Company? Okay, thank you. Head downstairs then. So if I'd done this in a different order, I could have been doing this with just Clive, right? On his own. Level up. Level 49. Finally over 3,000 health. 9999 might be a bit of a pipe dream. Recommendation. concerning the Kuza beast deployment. The Kuzas belong being recognised as an equally especially aggressive species. This being the case, it was hoped that successful deployment of the battlefield might be a means of inflicting havoc casualties on the enemy. In exercises conducted thus far, however, the beast has proven incapable of distinguishing between the allied and enemy combatants. As such, deployment alongside regular troops is not recommended. It is proposed instead that bearer captives be employed in order to draw enemy focus, and the beast then journey into the fray in order to achieve maximum benefit with minimal loss of Waluda lives.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
Memorandum on Kuza beast feeding. Recent supply shortages left us insufficient resources to feed the Kuza entrusted to our care. Fortunately, the creature is observed to kill and consume the bearers assigned to fight by side in a mock battle conducted by its training. The beast is further observed to enter a state of visible contentment before feeding in this way, suggesting that live bearers may even be its preferred source of sustenance. While this behaviour is unexpected, it is not unwelcome. Bearers no longer of use for training purposes can now be repurposed as required.
They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
Oh dear. We had a beast who is a ravenous, crazy, didn't know what side it's on beast, and then also eats bearers. And prefers it.
No luck downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents, and it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
Use the key on the locked gate. Locked gate. I know exactly what lock gate is. It's the gate I tried to open at the very start. Which is why they try and make you open it at the very start, so that you recognise that this was a locked gate. But then the waypoint just tells you where to go anyway, but...
Let's see what we can find down here.
That's been ravaged.
Survivor. And she sounds close.
Hello?
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards, they're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. You must have been terrified.
Chadwick sent you.
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
You can't let it live anyway, right? This thing is massive and huge and a big blue behemoth. I wonder if we'll have to fight Ultima Weapon, which is an FF6 like a behemoth. Kuza Beast. Rank A.
The beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen. Let's try.
Ow. Tried to dodge it, but I didn't remember what it was actually going to do. Comet already, eh? Yes, to the long guy, kiddo. Notorious Mark slain. This one didn't cast Meteor when it died, which is helpful.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
Sometime later.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Quest complete. The Breath of Darkness Gungnir gets the time down, and I can make another meteorite. Or have another one. Now, luckily for me, this is somewhat near where I want to go anyway. For the final quest I have to do today. In this long video, which will actually be about 3 hours long, but that's fine. Instead of get them all done. And then the next time we'll have as long as the DLCs take. I don't know how long they'll take.
Sid, may I have a moment?
Yes?
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now, and I wish to be deployed to Ash. Any assignment will do.
No. The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage. The Badbach Conservatory. Or rather, I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone. And few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names. But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every death logged with meticulous care. Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
Alright.
You were a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please. Even should it cost me my life.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. But not for me. I'll go to Badbach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace. Hidden in a forest, overlooking the plains.
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the mothers guide you.
Litany of errors. I know exactly where it is. It's at the bottom of the map. Not the south side necessarily, because I don't know that the top is north, but yeah, down here.
Faster!
Let's go. Whatever, mate. We're gone the wrong way. Yes. Yes, you bastard. You can get up there. Haha.
Hopefully the registry's still
Tricked you.
here.
In this house that I said I could go in. And indeed I can. Right. Writ of incorporation. The Kingdom of Lud hereby incorporates this institution wherein juvenile bearers are to be granted the opportunity to give themselves in service as a state of soldiers. Trainees to come into the Crystal's Curse with those perishing to be destroyed with all haste. The graveyard is strictly reserved for the uncursed. Bear disposal within its bounds, punishable by death. Today's exercise will consist of the press yard, 20 sandbags for each duration as instructions shall dictate. The furnace, burn intensity will be gradually increased. Live combat, 1 to 3 hell hours depending on the performance.
Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place.
I've recently learned that my own daughter was among the children tried to stir with the brutal training I subject them to. Had I not so much a thought of her since handing over to the authorities as a babe, but in cries within the military confounded it was her. I'd been torturing my own flesh and blood. And now I see her everywhere. Today one of the children smiled at me in the hope of receiving a few scraps from my table. It was her smile, the smile she inherited from her mother, the mother I killed for giving birth to a bearer. Their ghosts have all come back to haunt me, my daughters, my wife's, all of them. All those children, so many have died at my hand, I could bear their guilt no longer. And so I have decided tomorrow I too must die. It will be the last order I give those poor wretches, the last torment I subject them to. I'll command them to tear me limb from limb, and inter my accursed corpse beneath the white tree whose crooked hands reach to the sky in supplication. And beside me my shame, my curse, the record of all their names, all those I have wronged.
This reads like a suicide note.
Yeah.
Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out.
I suppose you did, yeah.
A forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry.
Hands 10, lithification turned to stone. Alfred 9, succumbed to conditioning. Franz 12, Paulina 10, emaciation, died of hunger. Bruno, discipline for attempted flight. Gianna, discipline for attempted flight. So, like, you killed them for trying to fly. Like, run away. Reinhard, conditioning. Marta, conditioning. Lothar, lithification. Dietrich, emaciation. And just goes on and on and on.
So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. And where is the architect of all this misery? It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed.
Bash me with a cannon, you bitch.
I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
I hear that you traveled to Ash. Sid, did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did. Yes.
A concise and disturbingly detailed record of bearer orphan deaths at the Badback Conservatory.
If I may, the bearer registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body. Or any record of what happened to the children after the orphanage closed.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost. My friends. My light in those dark times. I can still remember their faces, like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning, never to return. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place?
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't bring them back. Honor their memory. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you. Sid, I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, and the spirit of those its custodians sought to crush. All of Valisthea will know of our suffering. And in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you.
Quest complete. The Breath of Ice, Mesmerize. Got any reward? Okay, well, let's get a reward before we stop. But yes, that is everything in terms of quests besides the DLCs, I believe. It looks like it. So that'll be what we do next time. Apart from that, there's like another hunt to do as well, I believe. But we'll check that as the first thing we do next time. I've got more work to do, so I can't keep playing for now. I've actually kind of overrun, so I might be in a little bit of trouble. But that's fine. The work will get done. I just won't be able to do it quite as fastidiously as I would like.
Clive, you
What, mate? Actually, want to speak to Desiree? It's awkward. Unsigned. Every epic starts with a single word, every simply a single note. This is but the beginning, and forever shall your legend be told, forever shall your legacy be sung.
All yours.
Obtain all available items from your patrons.
All done?
Done. Alright. Well, I'm not finished yet, because in terms of, like, stuff, there's, like, one more fight. There are two more fights. The Wailing Banshee and the Masterless Marauder. Gorgomer's S, but where is the dragon? Barog, yeah, 60. He's worth 55, so a little bit less powerful than him, but that's fine. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time when we do those two hunts and then we start DLC stuff. See you then. Goodbye.